Hello, Miss V, Veronica Drake at veronicadrake.com. How are you doing?
I am super wonderful. My East Coast people will know what this is. This is my Dunkin' coffee. I don't
Oh, we
think you
got
have.
Dunkin'.
Oh,
Dunkin'
do you?
Donut. Yeah.
Well, I got my Dunkin'.
Yeah, oh, much better than Krispy Kreme, please. No,
Oh,
Shipley's is the best.
oh,
Mm.
well, I don't have a Shipley's, but anyway, I
Oh,
got my Dunkin'.
all right. Well, let's dunk into this subject. Hi, Eric. How are you doing?
He says, "Hey, Mama, I love you."
I love you too. First, I want to give a shout out to Sharon McCluskey, who gave me this beautiful, I think it's orate, rainbow orate, or I can't remember what she said it was on the, just beautiful. And
I
then,
love Sharon. I
oh
love
no, she's
Sharon.
awesome. She's my other daughter. And this, it says, dragonflies appear when angels are near. Signed Erik.
Oh, I
And
need to
then
get me one of them. I need to
it's
get a dragonfly.
this beautiful scarf, which I will wear right now.
Oh
Shout out
my.
to Sharon.
Hi,
All
Sharon.
right,
I love
let's
you.
go remote view her and give her a hug. We're going to talk about remote viewing today. Segways are working today. Yeah,
Hey, and we match.
I
And
know.
we,
Isn't that
and we
cool?
didn't plan it.
No, we didn't. So, what are you wearing to the party? I don't know
Telepathy.
what I think.
Telepathy. This is
Right.
telepathy is the thing, but I wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you for holding a space for all of us who do this work to come forward. And I love that you are so generously giving us this platform and you don't get a thing out of it other than your heart gets full. And I
Oh, no,
know that.
that's
So
really important. I get more out of it than you do.
thank
But
you.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
honored to have so many wonderful channelers and healers that, that give my boy a voice. I mean, what else could a mother want?
Well, and I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that every single person I talk to says they want to come meet you. They want to have lunch with you. They want to hug you. They want to
Oh,
kiss you. How many people's lives you've saved.
oh, and you
I
too.
You just need to know that.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
one of the things that Eric and I have talked about was that I love to learn. I'm a voracious reader. I'm constantly looking into how can I go deeper to help people, and he's like right here with me, and he said to me, it's time to show people how to see what's not in their literal sight path. And I went, okay, how do we do that? I was never somebody that knew what remote viewing was. I was just doing it. So Eric said, V, sit down and write your steps out. So this is what y'all are going to get today, my steps on remote viewing.
Well, tell us how you got into it. When, how many years ago?
Well, so I know now I've been doing this pretty much my whole life, but I'll give you some really
Oh,
concrete examples. Um, I was a couple of years ago driving, and my kids, just to give you a point of reference how I drive, my kids, when they were little, used to call me Mommy the ambulance driver because I would drive a little fast. Okay, so I'm on a back road. I'm coming home from an event. It's dusk, and I'm driving probably 80 miles an hour in a 25-mile an hour, and it's a curvy road. And all of a sudden, I just saw in my mind this significant curve, and I saw just an amazing amount of deer, just a massive herd of
Oh,
deer.
wow.
And so I thought, okay, slow her down. I go on about, 3, 4 miles down the road. And sure enough, I was in foreign territory too, meaning I had never driven this road. I come up around this corner, and they're literally blocking the road was a
Oh,
herd of deer.
wow.
Had I been going
Unbelievable.
at 80 miles an hour, so I saw, right? Another story where I used this ability, and I say ability because everyone has it. It's not a gift. People think psychic, and this is psychic. They
Right.
think this is a gift. It's not. Some people don't get it, and some people do. Everyone has it. You just need to develop it. But another event is I worked with law enforcement,
Mhm.
and I was called in on a state police case, and it was a murder case. And I went in knowing nothing. I mean,
Wow.
absolutely nothing. And so I got in the zone, and I'll teach you guys what the zone looks like. And I began to see as if I were standing in that scene physically what
Wow.
happened. And it was very surreal because I could physically feel it. I knew that he had been shot in the throat. I
Mm.
could feel water coming down me. He had just stepped out of the shower.
Oh, wow.
I had seen the shooter
Yeah.
and could describe her. I even saw initials that were hers. Now, I want to preface this with I went really far. They were impressed. I was impressed. But here's the thing, I wasn't able to find the gun.
Oh, yeah.
And without the gun. And so,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I understand, how things work, and sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. And Erik reminded me that some things just aren't meant to be known at the
Oh,
time that we're in them,
right.
right?
Sure.
So perhaps I wasn't meant to know that.
Yeah.
Another really quick example, when I do my readings, I do past life readings is my specialty. I can take you, I can transport you with very detailed precision your past life, as if I'm hovering over it, standing in it. I can see what you're wearing. I know it. So this is a form of remote viewing. Also, I would have to tell you this. When I do mediumship readings, when I bring your loved ones in,
Yeah.
very often they will give me a lay of the land. Now, that's not remote viewing because they're telling me the brown chair over there next to the china cabinet filled with, they'll
Okay.
give me that. And then I can transport myself into their house, almost sitting in their chair and
Oh.
seeing. And the validation on this has been incredible. I
Oh my
mean,
God. I mean, that must be so comforting to people. Well,
it
okay,
really
like
is.
on the deer story, what's the difference between psychically just being able to predict the future versus you remote viewing, traveling, projecting your consciousness to that curve?
So, remote viewing is used with the psychic sense because remote viewing is seeing what's not literally in front of you.
Okay.
You're in one location in time, but what you're viewing is a different time in space. And so you must engage the psychic sense.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
definite. Now, remote viewing, I'm a science kind of girl, meaning I like proof. With right, with
Yeah.
psychic, it's like there's a lot of charlatans out there. There's a lot
Yeah.
of boardwalk crystal ball bearing psychics. And listen, no shame in that game if that's what you're doing. I don't want any bad juju. But the reality is I like it to be proven. I like to be able to back up what I do with facts. And so when I found remote viewing as a literal term, because I was doing it not knowing it, I was fascinated that the
Yeah.
government used and uses, I would suspect, remote
Probably.
viewing. It began in the Cold War. During that time, Russia would know things about the US, and it would be like, how do they know that? And so the US went, we need a psychic remote viewing program. So Stanford, of all places, Stanford University got their top scientists together, and they came up with this incredibly precise remote viewing program. So for me, when I stumbled on that, I was like, okay, I feel confident I can share this.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That is
so that
so
was great.
cool.
So,
So have you gotten better and better over time with
well,
practice? Does that happen?
absolutely. Because if you think about it, if you're strength training and you're lifting weights, right? What
Oh yeah.
happens? You keep doing it. You're building muscle.
Okay.
You're building your spiritual muscle. I want to say, though, that remote viewing is a general term because if I say to you martial arts, it
Hmm.
means a couple of few things.
Oh, yeah, lots of things. Yeah.
Taekwondo, jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
karate, right? They're under the
Right.
umbrella. So remote viewing has a couple of different modalities under it. What I'm talking about today is controlled remote viewing
Okay.
versus associative remote viewing and extended remote viewing.
Can you
Okay.
define all of those?
So what I like to do, not to confuse people, is just to give you the controlled remote viewing. And what that is where you are in a space, in a place, you're in one place, you're going there, and you're step by step, you're controlling what you see by taking it in, writing it down, analyzing it, and going on to the next piece of evidence.
Okay.
Now, I have gotten to the point in my practice where I won't say I don't do the step by step, because I do, but I do it in here. I
Yeah.
don't literally write it down. Although working on missing persons cases, I will write things down step by step. Because sometimes, like in psychic work, imagery, symbolism means different things.
Yeah.
And so it takes time, and you write it down and you process it. So yeah, am I going too fast? Because
No, it's great. It's
I'm
great.
all excited. In this controlled remote viewing, your thoughts will pour in, right? And so I want you to think about this. You have to be very clear about who you are. You can't carry your own stuff in there. And so writing it down helps you to get out anything that's not of this psychic or remote nature.
Okay.
So imagine we all have a junk drawer.
Oh,
I have a junk drawer.
several.
I have a few junk drawers,
I do too.
right? So on Amazon, they sell these inserts where you put them in there and you can put all your stuff in your junk drawer. I want you to think of your mind like that.
Okay.
If you have all of these things going in your mind, you want to compartmentalize. This is over here. This is me. This is what feels like me. This is what feels like the client. And this is what feels like the situation, the remote place that I'm going.
Okay.
This is learned.
Mm.
Okay. And so you want to always have a target. And what I mean by a target, you want to be able to know, where's the place I'm going? Who's the person I'm looking for? Or what's the situation that's most prevalent to
Okay.
this person? Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is just, again, preface that. So Erik says, teach this. If you have a lamp in your house,
Okay.
and the lamp is unplugged, it has a cord, the lamp needs a source, right? So we have to plug the lamp in, which goes to the electric source, right? So think of what your role in this is. Your lamp is your person or place or thing that you're searching for remotely. Source is the source, the bigger piece of us, the God, the source.
Oh, yeah.
And you are the cord.
Oh.
So you are connecting the person, the place, the thing to the source to get the information.
Interesting.
And that's really what psychic work looks like from a very simplistic place.
I wonder if it has anything to do with sacred geometry, following the grid of sacred geometry.
I'm certain. There's the matrix. People talk about the matrix.
Oh, yeah, right.
In shamanism, it's the web of life.
Yeah. Huh.
People in different genres reference it differently, but it's all the same thing. It's one big connection. And so bringing this down to a very simple level, you're the cord. Okay. So as that conduit, we go into a space where we have a mind, right? So I've often talked about the levels of the mind. We have the subconscious and we have the conscious. Now, the conscious mind is ego, 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 ego. Talk, 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 talk.
Oh,
right?
yeah. The monkey section.
The monkey mind,
Right.
So imagine separating these two minds, because then we have the conscious mind and we have the subconscious mind,
Yeah.
right? So imagine a line, and that line is called a limen.
Okay.
It's a limen.
Hmm.
So you have subliminal below the line,
Mm-hmm.
or subconscious, and then you have super limen, conscious, right? So we have this thing going on where we literally can access the subliminal mind. But how do we do it? We have to entertain the conscious mind.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever
Active.
driven home from somewhere and
Oh,
you're
yeah.
preoccupied?
And you don't know, how did I get here?
How
Yes.
did I get here? Well,
Right.
you know how you got there. Your subconscious mind, your subliminal mind
Right.
knew the way.
Mm.
But you got there on your subconscious dime
Mhm.
because your conscious mind was busy thinking about what
Other
color
things.
should I make my hair?
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Right.
Like it's right. So you occupied your conscious mind.
Yeah.
And what happens is people go like this. I can't do this. What if I say the wrong thing? You know, we hear it all
Oh,
the time.
yeah, of course. We always want to second guess and doubt ourselves.
That's the human ego.
Yeah.
Because what the ego loves more than anything else is to keep you right where you are. Status quo is the ego's friend. And we all know status quo isn't going to cut it. We're coming into a time where we need to elevate, right? We need to elevate. I also have heard when I first started doing this work, people would say, "Oh, you're crazy. This is a circus act. You're a
Oh,
charlatan.
uh,
How can you even be into this?" And to that, I would say, do you think people who see things, hear things, taste things, and smell things are crazy? No, right? The sixth sense
mm,
is not crazy. It is not. It is a normal way of being in the world.
yeah,
We just haven't opened up to it yet.
exactly.
But that's changing. And it's changing. The secret link between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind is your body.
Hmm.
Think about it. Have you ever met somebody and the hair on the back of your neck stands up
Yeah.
and you're like, "Ooh, dude,"
Or you
right?
feel like somebody's looking at you when you're driving and the person next to you is looking at you.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you get the butterflies in your belly, like you meet somebody, you know this is going to be big and you know it, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, your body reacts.
Yes.
So your body is really that plug, that conduit,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But we're so busy in our conscious mind that we forget all about that.
Yeah. Are you talking about intuition?
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
yes.
intuition uses our body, hair on the neck, all that kind of stuff to
Mhm.
communicate with us.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And you know, when I first met Erik, Erik would, well, the first sense that Erik engaged with me was it smelled like Fritos. And he would tell me, "It's my socks," or "It's
Oh
my,"
God, they didn't smell like Fritos. Oh, it was a lot worse. But that's
well,
smell.
that's what he came to me. And then Erik will do this to me. Do you remember the Tom Cruise movie where he slides in the room and he starts singing
Oh
the
yeah, right, right,
in his
right.
underwear? Well, Erik's not in his underwear, but he slides in the room and he jumps right up on the right side of my face. And I swear to God, it's like, so if you guys are out there and you're watching this, do this. Like, do this, feel this. At least do it. Put your hands up
Oh,
here, go like this. Don't
right.
touch. Don't
Oh,
touch.
don't
Just
touch.
you can you feel that? Can you feel your hands close to your
Yes.
face? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's what it feels like when Erik comes near me.
Wow.
Now, spirit
A
comes
personal
near us.
space, please.
Spirit comes near us like that. Erik is spirit. He comes near us like that. Not everybody will get that. Some people will get the tingles.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
Tingles.
Yeah.
The other really popular one is the goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm doing a reading for somebody, my body will always indicate to me this is the truth, right?
Oh, yeah.
I was doing a reading one time for a woman and I brought her grandmother in and she was tough. I mean, this woman was tough. Like I felt like I was auditioning for her.
Oh, geez.
And she was tough. And I kept saying, well, Lucy's here. Lucy's here. Lucy's here. And she would say to me, you're crazy. There's no Lucy. There's no. And at the end of the reading, we wrapped. My grandmother's name was Janine or Jeannie or something like that, or Jean.
Right.
And we get to the end of the reading and I know Lucy's here, right? And so we get to the end of the reading and she went, oh my God. And I said, yes. And she said, my grandmother's name was Lucille Jean such and such.
Oh, my God.
And she did go early on in her life by Lucy.
Oh, my God. How about that?
So
You can also learn how to communicate with your higher self about things too, like show me your yes. And to me, it's like feeling like something's going up and down in the pranic tube. And the other one is like no, it's like side by side. So you can also probably use that too, right?
absolutely. And the pendulum. So speaking of
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
right? The pendulum reacts to your energy, right? But your energy is plugged in to source. And so this is what's reacting. This is what's making the pendulum go. I don't necessarily use the Ouija board. I don't have an issue with it. I can, because I think everything is what you label it. And I don't see the Ouija board to be anything evil, or I'll probably take shit for that, but I just don't. It's your intention. And
Right.
so I can remember being a kid using the Ouija board and just not quite fully understanding the Ouija board. But now what I know is the Ouija board is really just reacting on our own energy, which is plugged in to something bigger.
That's right.
So that's really what it is.
Yeah.
So, I want I want to talk for a minute. Am I going too fast?
No, we're good. We're good.
I'm like I'm on speed. Um, I want to talk to you about the word ambiance.
Okay.
Have you know what ambiance is, right?
Environment.
What's your ambiance like?
Yeah.
Well, if you walk into a room, pardon me, you can discuss with your higher self the ambiance of the room. So I walk into a space and they're fighting, they're back each. You use the phrase, you can cut the tension with a knife,
Yeah.
right? Ambiance, right? Or the phrase, love is in the air. You walk into a newly engaged couple and you just feel the ambiance.
And even after the fighting people are gone and the couple is gone, you can still feel the different vibration, right?
Yes, because energy never dies.
There we go.
And I'm going to digress for a moment. When I do my past life readings, I can go to, let's say, the Gettysburg, the battlefields, and while they're not there yet, I can feel the fight. I can feel the war.
Yeah.
It's that ground holds that energy, right? So also think about the last time you've ever been walking down the sidewalk, right? And it's well lit and there's all those pretty lights hanging and there's people buzzing and milling about. It's an ambiance, it's a vibe, it's a feeling, right?
Sure.
You turn the corner and it's completely dark.
Yeah.
No lights, you're walking around, you get that heaviness in your body, right? You feel something. You don't know that there's anything, but you feel it. This is how spirit will work with us. Notice the ambiance when you go into a place. Now, if you're in your house, I'm in my house. We don't think about anything in our house because we know it's safe. You're going to get up and go to your kitchen and get a cup of coffee. I'm going to, go to my kitchen and clean it up or whatever. And we're just going to walk kitchen to kitchen. We don't think about it.
Right.
But I want you to start to think about the energy, the ambiance in your own home. Every time you go from one threshold, one room to the other, I want you to feel the difference in the ambiance. Because, and this all has to do with as you promote or as you grow in your remote viewing and your psychic ability, you're going to learn to read energy. And this is what you're actually reading.
That's a good exercise, good homework assignment.
Right. Absolutely. And so if you think about it, there's safety in your house. So years ago, I lived in a different house and I just inherently have known this stuff. Like I would feel the safety in my house. And so one night my husband and my kids were gone. They had gone somewhere overnight and I was home alone and I had this huge kitchen and I had these floor to ceiling windows.
Hmm.
And I would, I was in my bedroom reading and I wanted to get a drink. So I went out in the kitchen. I went from my bedroom to my kitchen and I walked out of my kitchen and I thought, oh, something's not right. I could tell the difference
Yeah.
from the bedroom energy to the kitchen energy. I just knew. And I described it as something felt off.
Hmm.
I didn't know consciously what it was, but I knew something was off. I had, they call it the spidey sense, right?
Yeah.
Spidey sense. So as I'm feeling this, my phone rings and I heard somebody on the other end with this creepy breathing and they described what I was wearing.
Oh my God. Did you call the
They
police?
they were, yes, they were outside my window. I called 911 immediately.
Ugh.
Of course, the person or persons were gone, but the police confirmed
But
there
they
were,
knew your telephone number too. What's that about?
yeah, and there were footprints underneath the window
Oh,
in the kitchen.
did they ever catch the person?
No,
Oh,
no. Being super familiar with ambiance or energy of where you are can really protect you in ways you don't even think about,
no. There's
right?
so many stories I've heard on these true crime things, especially. It's like the person just didn't listen to their sense of dread, they just, well, I'll take a chance. And they end up getting murdered or whatever. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so if you begin to go into places with this in the forefront and notice, I'm going to feel the ambiance from the sidewalk inside the grocery store.
Okay.
What does it feel? And this is a practice exercise for anybody who really wants to get into, whether you call it remote viewing, psychic readings, mediumship. This is the crux. This is the foundation of all of this work.
Yeah. Perceiving energy and
Exactly.
energetic changes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. And so one of the things I did early on, I no longer do it because I just know this. I got a little notebook, like you see the police, they write their little
Oh,
notes
yeah.
down.
Mhm.
I got a little notebook. I would write feelings down. I would take walks. And I can remember taking a walk on a bike path one time in this area it was secluded, but if I looked over, like there was a busy road. So it wasn't like that secluded. And I got to this one space and place, and I had my little notebook with me, and I was documenting how it felt. So I got to this place, I put a landmark down of what it felt like.
Hmm.
I just knew somebody was murdered. I knew it. I
Can you
went back.
sense something only if it's already happened, or can you go to a place and sense something could happen the
Yes,
next day or
very
whatever?
much.
Wow.
Very much.
Interesting.
Yes. Precognitive. Yes, very
Okay.
much.
Okay.
Um, I don't necessarily know that I'm the expert in that. I don't think I've ever seen anything, although I don't know because I'm always listening to what I'm doing. So I felt this murdered person there.
Wow.
And I went in the archives and I looked up the land back in the day, like way back before it was built. And it was like a slaughterhouse on that
Oh,
exact
wow.
place.
Wow.
So there
That
were,
is,
it was,
oh, that's cool. That is so
and I
cool.
have chills, like I get the chills.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a precognitive might look like this. I'm flying alone on an airplane. I'm going to Florida. It's an 11 o'clock flight that we would get in. So it was dark. The guy gets on the plane. I love his shoes. I'm into shoes. Like I'm thinking, oh, I'm feeling his shoes. He sits next to me. We talk and he keeps insisting to buy me a drink. And I just, something, again, the ambiance that he brought, the
Yeah.
energy he
Oh,
brought,
yeah.
he wouldn't stop. And the flight attendant said, "You sure you don't want to?" I said, "No. If I wanted a drink, I would buy my own drink."
Yeah.
And he looks at me and he says, "I'm going to buy you a drink." And I turned and I looked at him and I said, "How many times have you been in jail?"
Ooh.
Out of the blue, out of my mouth. And he says, "3." He turned his head forward, never said another word to me.
Wow.
Now, could I have been heading something off? Perhaps. So,
Yeah. It's just
we
like me and the serial killer. I just knew this guy approaching me on the beach was intent on killing me, So that's why when he asked, what do I do for a living? I said, I'm a physician and a black belt karate instructor. Then he moved away. And then 2 years later, I found him on the TVs, the Killing Field serial killer, or one of them anyway.
Oh, dear
But
God.
that dread, I felt before I even saw him while I was on the beach, I felt this intense sense that I might die today, that sort of feeling.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. When you were lost in Norway,
Uh-huh.
were you did you feel anything as you're walking along,
Yeah,
or was you
I felt like, God, I'm in a pickle here. And then it's like, God, I might die here. And then finally I said, I'm going to die here. And it was so horrible. So the cold, the rain, the wind. Well, when your core temperature after they heat you up with warm IV fluids is 84, is bad. So you're
Mm,
just like, I'm trying to will myself out of my body, will my soul out of my body. I just wanted to get out of this body that was suffering so intensely. So, but I didn't see it coming before I started walking in the wrong direction.
no, but here's what I wonder, and I
Yeah.
don't know if you can answer this or not. What got you there? Because was your conscious mind busy doing something else and your subconscious mind was leading the way? Or did you just shut everything down and you were so consumed in energy that was negative and heavy that you were just doing your thing? I
I'm
mean,
not sure. I thought I was going the right direction, but the fog was so thick. I just,
Mhm. And
again, I
so,
realized, wait a minute, it didn't take me this long to get to that point. So why is it taking so
mhm.
long? And I'm feeling
And
like,
also, I can sense when I look at that, because I can kind of view into that space, you were closer than you thought, but somehow you got turned around and
yes,
your body saved you because your body knew what to do in a sense to like slow it down, take less, and your body protected you in that sense, right? Because
yep,
it's innate. The body knows what to do to take care of itself.
makes
And
sense. Yeah,
luckily you were found. So,
yeah, well, it was a miracle. Wow. I
um,
had maybe an hour left of life, they said,
yeah,
or an
yeah,
hour and a half.
well, no surprise. No
Oh,
surprise.
God. Tough old bird.
So dreams are another way that the subconscious mind communicates to us. Remember, the subconscious mind is the mind that is connected to the
Of
source. It
course.
is plugged in. So in dreams, we have the ability to kind of look at them, and maybe they're not literal or logical, but if we jot them down, we'll understand. We have hunches, we have feelings, we have visions, we have inner voice, we have physical responses. This is all, and dreams, this is all how our intuition or psychic ability speaks to us.
Okay, what's the
Once,
difference? Is there a difference between your subconscious and your higher self?
so what I understand is the subconscious part of you, of your mind, is the part where you're plugged into source.
Okay.
The conscious mind is the ego, and then the super conscious mind
Ah, that's
is the soul.
that's your higher
So
self, your
if you
oversoul.
look at it, is the super conscious mind flooding into the subconscious mind?
Mm,
So imagine the subconscious mind with um, compartments. We
okay.
have the compartment that houses our fears, our
Mm,
phobias, our past experiences. There's a lot going on in the subconscious mind, right?
yeah,
And so the subconscious mind, I call it like the encyclopedia of psychic because
okay.
everything we need to know comes through there.
Mm.
So I'd like to leave people with some tips to help them hone their, whether we call it the remote viewing or the psychic viewing. One of the things I learned, and this is how I work, I don't identify something, I describe it.
Oh, yeah.
Let me give you an example. There's a missing girl,
Mhm.
and I was asked if I could help find her. And just to preface this with, to date, she has not been found. This was in 2010. So
Yeah.
I, instead of me saying there is a factory behind the field, I would, because that's identifying it, I would describe tall cylinders
Oh,
coming up from the ground with smoke coming out of them. There is a metallic finish. Because if I would go into, oh, there's a factory,
yeah.
I may be off with the factory
That
and
totally
lead,
makes sense.
right?
Yeah.
And lead police somewhere they don't need to go. So when you're doing this work, describe what you see, don't identify it, don't use a noun, don't label it, right?
Okay.
I could see something that looks, it's long, it's metal, it's got rungs across it. I see an arch, and there's all of these colored things flying. Now, if I were to say a bridge, people might go crazy looking for the bridge,
Yeah.
where as I'm describing it like that,
Yeah.
people would go, oh, it's that bridge down on Washington Street where the flags are on, right? It's
Uh-huh. That makes
easier to
sense.
get. You're going to get quick pieces of information with this. The other thing I highly recommend is write everything down.
Mm.
Even if you think it doesn't mean anything, if you're doing a reading for a client or even for yourself, if you get an image, if you get a sensation, if you get a feeling, if your mother's face pops in, write it all down.
Yeah.
Walk away from it and come back and engage your superconscious mind or your higher self.
Wow.
Um, Also, colors, textures, smells. Engage your five senses,
All senses. Yeah.
all your senses, right?
Yeah.
You're just going to be amazed when you pay attention to your sensory and your dimensional information in your mental image, how clear you can get. So that's the third thing. Pay attention to all of your senses. Pay
And you can
attention.
also probably ask your higher self to make it stronger if you're having trouble capturing it, right? Make it stronger.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Some of you out there have spirit guides or spirit helpers, spirit animals, Erik, whomever you use to help you, just ask.
Yeah.
Spirit never
Make it stronger.
denies us.
Yeah.
Yep,
That's
never
oh,
denies us.
really, that's cool to know. That is
So,
cool.
so that's what I got. I hope it wasn't diarrhea of the mouth and I didn't
No, it
go.
was wonderful. So if I want to start remote viewing right now, I mean, if projecting my consciousness, what do I actually do?
Mhm.
Um, close my eyes and
No. So for remote viewing, you want to keep your eyes open.
oh, really?
Here's why.
Yeah.
Remember we talked about the monkey mind, the conscious mind?
Yeah.
If you're keeping your mind, your eyes open, I can look over there and I can look at the edges of that plant and I can say, well, look at that. And geez, that should be dusted. And oh my God, that stuff's on the floor. You want your conscious mind to be doing something because
Okay.
subliminally, your conscious mind is going to come in stronger than your conscious mind,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So the first thing you want is you want a target or a task. So if I'm finding a missing person, I get a visual. Sometimes they show me a picture, sometimes they give me a name, and then that becomes my target. If you're looking to do a past life for somebody, you look at their name, their face. Before I get on and do past life for people, I'll see their name, I'll get an energetic makeup of who they are in this life.
Yeah.
I'll look off to the side. I'll do my, because often when I do readings, people who see me will notice, even when I do channeling Erik with Erik, I'll look off to the side. And
Yeah.
that's because I'm occupying my conscious mind. So my subconscious mind
Oh,
can talk to Erik or whomever else is over here. So you get it. You want to target, you want to be aiming at something. I also have found many, 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 many lost items,
I bet.
cherished items.
Yeah.
he passed away. I can't find his watch.
Yeah.
I can't find, did I bury him with it? People have no recollection.
Yeah.
I can go right to the bedroom. I can see the tall chest of drawers. It's brown. It's got a knob missing on the third drawer. There's a tray on the top. Nope, go in the top drawer. It's buried in the back, and voila, there it is.
Wow. So can we practice by using simple tasks in our own home, or maybe like what's in my junk drawer? What's the first thing I see? But of course, you probably already know what's in there. So maybe you go to your neighbor's house or a friend's and say, "Can I just like remote view your kitchen drawer or whatever?"
So here's a great exercise people can do. Now, I've been to your house, so I can't remote view your house because I know your house, right?
Okay.
So if people watching this, I don't know, maybe this is too intrusive, but if people watching this, take yourself to Elise's house, or even my house if you want, and get an aerial view of it. Imagine, keep your eyes open because you're working the conscious brain. Hover over the house remotely, psychically, and look down at it and tell us what you see in the backyards of both of our houses, or either one of our houses.
That'd be cool.
Right?
Good exercise. Great.
I'm totally cool. If you want to email me, I know I'm bombarded. You're bombarded.
Put it in the comment section.
Oh, yeah. Put it in the comment section.
Yeah.
Because the back of my house, here's another thing you can do. What direction, north, south, east, or west, does the back of my house and the back of Elise's house face?
There we go.
Simple.
And don't do Google Earth, people. That's cheating.
I would never even have thought of that. Do not cheat.
I've got a devious mind.
Yeah, well.
Awesome. Any other final words about remote or tips about remote?
Listen, I have to just tell you, the whole session, I've had goosebumps. I get so jacked up about the work I do. It's like
it is work that you should feel jacked up about. It's so awesome.
I love it. Working with law enforcement, finding missing people. That's not something I do every day. So I'm not here to tell you, I do this every day.
Yeah.
Bringing peace to people who've lost a loved one.
Yeah, that's a big one. Yeah.
Absolutely. Helping people by reading their past lives to see, why are they challenged with this? Why do I keep repeating the same pattern? I had somebody the other day, they had severe stomach issue. They couldn't figure out. They were shot in the stomach.
Oh, wow.
Shot in the stomach.
Yeah.
Some guy had neck stuff going on, real severe, been to the chiropractor, did everything. He lost his life in a guillotine. He was beheaded.
Oh, well, I was going to say beheaded. Wow, that's interesting. And sometimes when you know that, it gets better, right?
Well, exactly. Could we call it the placebo effect? Who cares what we call it?
Really?
You know? If I'm going back and I'm seeing in 1802 or 1702 or whatever it was, you were beheaded, and that part of your soul stays there because souls don't know time.
Yeah, that's true.
The soul doesn't go, okay, Johnny died in 1786. I better no, the soul's still there. And I say, woo, come on, get back here.
Get back, right. Soul fragments need to be retrieved and reattached.
Exactly.
Like, put my head back on, please.
Or I'm not there. I don't have to feel that pain anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, okay. So that's that. That's what I got.
That is so cool. All right. So you guys, this was amazing. You guys reach out to Veronica at veronicadrake.com. She is awesome in so many ways. And Erik, thank you for being here too. I miss you. I love you. And I guess we better go get to work in the she shed.
Yay, she shed.
Love you.
Love you guys. Take care.
Bye.